Getting fired was the best thing ever. Let me take you back 1 year ago and share with you how I felt and what the experience was actually like being terminated from my corporate tech sales account executive position at a large software company, and also share some of the reflections I've had as of recent, a year, actually more than a year, out of the corporate America workforce and pursuing my entrepreneurial ambitions. And my hope is that this message will be relevant to you and resonate no matter where you're at in your career, what you're going through, and what you're looking to accomplish. One evening, this was March 2nd, 2023, I was grinding on my computer, working from home. I had a long day in the office, and I was dealing with this customer issue because I promised the world in the implementation, and then we were having some issues with the setup. So they were emailing me saying, Trent, we're having problems. We're angry. So I'm stressed out. It's the evening. I'm worried about this. I can't even eat dinner. And then all of a sudden, I get a call from an unknown number, and they say, hey, is this Trent? I'm like, yep. They're like, hold on, we're buzzing someone else in. I'm like, what? And all of a sudden there's two people on the call. It's HR. And they say, today's your last day. No ifs, ands, or buts, no conversation, no nothing. No severance, no payout on the $300,000 in verbal commit deals that the business ended up recognizing the revenue from. No appreciation for 5 years of service. Imagine having someone like myself who is obsessed with work, who is all in on what they're doing, who loves their job, who sees a future of the company, and they say, you know what, go on your own way. We don't wish you the best, but see ya. And that was my experience. Let me tell you how it made me feel. It made me feel empowered because I refuse to assume the victim mentality in any situation. No matter my disagreement or displeasure with the outcome, it's my fault. It was my fault. I got fired, and I accept total and utter responsibility for that. It was on me. I learned from it. I made perhaps some questionable mistakes, and that's arguable. But it was a great learning experience, and I'm incredibly grateful it happened to me. And what the experience taught me in the moment is because that next day you start to get messages from people, because if you've worked in a corporate job, you've got the Slack or the internal employee intranet in the calendars, and you look someone up and you don't see them anymore, and you know that means they're gone. Did they leave? Did they get fired? What happened? So I'm getting all these messages because the next day no one sees me. I've been there a while. I'm pretty public. I post videos on YouTube and LinkedIn talking about sales. So you may think from the outside looking in, wow, that's kind of embarrassing for that to happen. I like to talk about it very transparently because I think that people are naturally curious about when people get fired. It's interesting, it's drama, but it also shows a lot about human nature. And I want to talk about some of those insights and observations I've had upon reflecting on this deeply. First and foremost, the importance of recognizing that nobody cares about your circumstances or your life as much as you do, because they are much more concerned about their own circumstances in their own world. There's something called the spotlight effect. So within 24 hours of getting fired, I'm thinking, oh, everyone's focused on me. Everyone's talking about me. Everyone's thinking about me. Everyone's judging me for better or for worse. But in reality, some people may have spent 10, 20, 30 seconds, a few minutes thinking about, wow, I wonder why Trent got fired. Wow, I can't believe they did that. That's insane. But no one really cares as much about that or what happened to me as I do. So why would I be worried about the opinions of other people? And that was another lesson, is to be indifferent of the opinions of the outside world. It doesn't matter who is elected president. It doesn't matter if I get fired or not. It doesn't matter what's happening. I'm only going to trust my instincts and follow a course of action that I believe is best for my life based on my intuition based on my decision making, based on the information I have at present and what's going for me. I'm focused on making the best of any situation. And that's why I said absolute accountability. Everything is my fault. If I get fired, even for questionable circumstances, it is my fault. And for those of you who have dealt with a layoff, because there's been a lot of layoffs, especially in tech, if your company is bloated and needs to cut expenses, and you happen to be part of that unlucky 5 to 10% cohort of people that get fired, it's your fault. It's not on the company. It's your fault for either not being more valuable. You chose to work at that company. Perhaps you didn't choose to work on the right project, or perhaps it was just totally out of your control. And if that is the case, you create your own luck through cause and effect, through your actions, through what you think about, through what you work on. And that has been another important lesson for me going through this experience. And I have one more thought written down that I want to share with you as I've pursued my entrepreneurial ambitions. And I want to talk about that. Never underestimate my abilities or overestimate the abilities of others. Some of you may look at my YouTube channel and say, wow, Trent is so spectacular. Look at the 42,000 subscribers. Subscribe now if you haven't already. And you question, well, could I do that? Could I go rise the ranks at a software company from an SDR to account executive? Could I start posting on LinkedIn? Could I do yoga as much as Trent and be in perfect physical conditioning? If you think about where you're at today and compare yourself to someone else, it's naturally going to create either I'm better than them or I'm worse than them. So I just try and avoid any comparison whatsoever and never set limits on my potential. And when I look at someone that has done something spectacular, I'm not envious. I'm not judgmental. I'm not saying that should be me. I'm saying that is inspirational, like James Dyson, Brad Jacobs, John D. Rockefeller. These are people I'm incredibly motivated and inspired by their accomplishments. They didn't set boundaries. They didn't constrain their success or their potential. I believe I have limitless potential. So when I look at people much further ahead, I think, you know what, I'm not going to overstate their abilities or understate what I am capable of, because I am now out of the corporate workforce. I'm leading sales in my family's small business. I'm a sales team of one. We don't even have a website. We don't have resources. I'm out here in the trenches daily, doing prospecting calls, running sales meetings, making things happen, basically with nothing. And it's been a great experience as I aspire to grow this business, because when you're working in a corporate sales job, I would be getting paid way more being an account executive at some public software company, but I would just still be in that role thinking, I just need to keep making money, keep getting experience, keep making connections, and then one day I'll be ready to go start a business. The reality is that one day may never come. And if you say, I will do it tomorrow, next week, when I'm ready, when I'm 30 and a millionaire, it's never going to happen. So I am so grateful that the Band-Aid was ripped off. I didn't want to get in the cold water, but I was pushed in head first with losing my job. I would not have left my job anytime soon, not because of the golden handcuffs or I had all these RSUs or I was making all this money, but I loved what I was doing. It was a great experience. I saw a future. So it's not rational to leave a situation like that, but eventually your upside is capped in that situation. So when you're out of the situation, your upside is unlimited. I could grow this business to $100 million in revenue, and all of a sudden, we're really making things happen. Or we could go out of business tomorrow, and the downside could go to zero. And that is the risk. I feel danger, but it's exciting because I know that there's leverage and there's accountability in my actions. I wouldn't want it any other way. So when I say getting fired was the best thing ever, I truly mean it in my heart of hearts. I'm so grateful for the way things played out. And I hope my observations unlock your mind to think differently about your situation, about what you want, and about how you operate day to day. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, it would mean the world to me if you hit the thumbs up button now and you subscribe to the channel, because our goal is 100,000 subscribers by end of year 2024. And I'll talk to you in the next video.